Welcome to the podcast formerly known as Emergency Protocol. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Denise.
That's still my mama.
And that's still my baby.
We're also still stressy and depressy, just with a new name.
Because apparently Emergency Protocol sounded too much like we were selling first aid kits.
So, welcome to 12 Steps for Everyone.
Whether you're in recovery like me,
or managing mental health like I am, these steps are the guardrails that keep us on the road.
Whether we're going one day at a time,
or just trying to conquer Laundry Mountain.
Let's get into it before we change the name again. All right.
Okay.
We're back.
We're back.
Oy, oy, oy. Oy, oy. Life is lifing.
Yeah, sure is.
It's been busy. Today's the first day of spring, so it's delayed where you're going to listen to this, but today is the first day of spring, and it feels like it's sprung. Like there's just a lot going on, and yeah lots going on. So today, right before we're recording, as we record every other Saturday or every Saturday, depending on our schedules. We have a 10 o'clock 12 Steps for Everyone meeting. And today we were on step 5, which is with vulnerability and integrity, we share this inventory with someone safe and trustworthy. So if you're just hopping in and have never heard us before, we are talking about this 12 Steps for Everyone. And we still have this emergency protocol, but we're shifting over, and
we are mid-rebrand.
We're mid-rebrand, and we're going to keep
as amateur
going.
Podcasters, we are continuing to amateurly podcast.
Welcome to our amateur podcast.
Yes.
Episode 58.
Yeah, you would think we would know some things by now, but shit.
You know what? We have other things. We are doing other stuff. This is not our full-time gig. So, yeah, we were talking about having people available to talk about hard things with that you feel safe talking to and can maybe offer some insight or some direction around like how to move forward if you're stuck, or maybe it's just listening, right? Sometimes it's not, you're not looking for advice, you're just looking for someone to listen. But in the beginning of doing this work, the helpful part for me around step 5 is having another person look at what I'm struggling with and seeing what my part is in it, because sometimes I don't identify where I'm contributing to the mess, or where alternatively it's none of my business and there's nothing I can do to interfere with other people's stuff. So there's two sides to it. Where am I shirking my responsibility and where am I overstepping is usually kind of where I get some clarity in sharing this with other people. And also pointing out, like, especially as those relationships continue to evolve and they have some history with me, they can say like, hey, this is that thing that you do. And it's here again. If I'm, you know what I mean? Like, okay. Yep, you're right. I do that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I think also, obviously, with a traditional 12-step program, you're looking for a sponsor, and our network in theory could be really large as 12 Steps for Everyone in terms of people who have the skill set or experience to be able to help people in that way. But there's also something to be said for finding, if that's unavailable, for me to find another consistent source of support, which looks like therapy right now. And in either of those relationships, finding people who are safe and trustworthy, and also will hold me accountable,
Hmm.
right? And so this week it was timely that we were on fifth step because I had therapy yesterday. Shout out Mina. And one of the things that she brought up, like we kind of did our normal check-in. It's been a couple weeks since I've seen her because of school stuff and whatever. One of the things she brought up, she was like, so she's like, we can totally talk about whatever you want. Like, this is your time. I will fully respect that. And also, you brought up this one thing at the very beginning of our relationship when we were getting to know each other. And like, I don't want to push you, but we can also just keep kind of like avoiding this thing, or we can actually kind of like take a look at it. So you let me know what you want to do, right? And that accountability was super uncomfortable. I was like dropping my phone, like we were laughing a lot. It was just very silly because I was so uncomfortable. But we also, like, I named that in the moment. I was like, man, this sucks. And then we kind of talked about a game plan and figured some things out. And I was like, just a heads up, you might get a very grumpy slash angry message from me in the portal. It's not going to be me mad at you. It's just going to be like, I did this thing and it fucking sucked. And like, me, you know? And she was like, okay, great. She's like, yeah, she's like, you can't make me. And I was like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, but that also made me feel good because I learned from a past experience a couple of years ago, which I've talked about on this podcast, where I did have a therapist who I didn't end up feeling was super trustworthy or safe. And
Right.
it felt good to reaffirm that like my picker has been restored or fixed or is
Hmm.
not broken in that ability, because that also translates into other areas of my life where I'm looking to recognize people who are safe and trustworthy.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I know in the beginning of my sobriety,
Mm,
and we talked about this in the meeting, like I didn't often pick the right people to share
hmm.
confidences with, and then they got reshared or
Yeah,
gossiped about, or also I had to learn how to not gossip and hold people's
sure.
things. And so a lot of people at work know that, they can come to me and I'm the vault, right? And
Hmm.
sometimes they'll say, like, we got to keep it in the vault. And they know with 100% certainty that I will keep it.
In the vault.
I am trustworthy,
Yeah.
right? So it's not even just about being finding trustworthy people,
Hmm.
but learning how to be trustworthy people.
Hmm.
And that is particularly challenging when there's some salacious, tea to share with other people and you just gotta like sit on it.
Feel trap.
Alternatively, having hard secrets to keep, which I've done, is also challenging, like,
Hmm.
oh, I don't feel good holding this secret, right? And then
Yeah.
having to revisit that with people and say, like, this is really hard because X, right? And so
Hmm.
it's an interesting thing, but it's helpful for sure to share secrets that are particularly shameful. And
Hmm.
I mean, in traditional 12 steps room, they're like, your secrets will kill you. And they
Yeah.
will, because we're just like hiding out. It's like, I'm gonna share all of this stuff except for this thing. This one goes
Hmm.
to the grave with me, and I'm gonna keep it in my shame box, very deep, 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 and we're never gonna address it, right? And so
Yeah.
what happens more than not is that when people share, or I share my darkness, and other people share their shadow selves with me, it's usually like, oh, me too, you too, oh, well,
Hmm.
what, like, and people feel less alone
Yeah.
in their thoughts and behaviors. Even on a management call that I was on this week, people were talking about imposter syndrome, and we're talking about people
Hmm.
in positions of leadership, right?
Hmm.
So it's interesting thing that it's not just for people having a hard time, it's a universal behavior that people have and
Yeah.
work through or don't work through.
Yeah. Like chances are, given how many people exist in the world and have existed, I'm most likely not the only person to have had the thoughts or experiences that I've had, right?
Right.
And the likelihood that I directly know other people who have experienced those things just based on statistics, right? You can look at like the 1 in 5, like whatever, point and shoot at any kind of terrible, sad thing that's happened that we have data about. Like
Hmm.
you probably know more people than you think you do, right? And
Yeah.
like, but I do want to circle back to the being a safe person part too, because there is a lot of weight and responsibility, like you said, that comes with holding that information, right? And so it's important, like every therapist I know, at least all of like the best ones have a therapist, right? Like every coach has a coach.
Right.
And so eventually maybe that becomes like a circle or a Venn diagram because you reach a certain echelon where there's just like no one really above you. You're just with peers, right? But you can find some sort of way. And you see this in like organizing circles as well, where the people who are keeping the momentum and who are doing the behind the scenes hard work are kind of like, okay, like I did this thing, but like, what do I like, who knows about it besides me, right? And so being able to suss that out as well, I think is important and recognize like when I have reached my capacity to hold something on my own.
And also, it is harder. Like, I'm going to be 40 years sober uh,
Crazy.
on the 3rd
Wow.
of April, which is crazy. That's like longer than all of my staff is old, like for sure. So
Uh-huh.
that when I put in that perspective of like, oh, I've been doing this thing longer than they've been walking the earth. That's insane. But being this long sober and at a certain point my sponsor got old and you know had some dementia and eventually passed, and
Hmm.
finding a new sponsor was super hard when you're this
Hmm.
long sober, to find
Yeah.
somebody that you can relate to, that you can talk to, that seems like somebody you would you'd listen to.
Hmm.
And what ended up happening was my friend and I started sponsoring each other.
Hmm.
So, and it became, she was my hairdresser, and I loved sitting in her chair, and we were also very similar in that she owned her own business. I was selling real estate, so if it, I'm my own independent contractor. We both had kids that have the same ages apart, similar schools, similar paths, same amount of sobriety. Although she was sober, got sober in NA, and I got sober in some other programs. And we were talking about how my sponsor, Claire, sat a bunch of women around her dining room table, and we worked through the steps, like one step at a time, for 12 months at a
Hmm.
go. And the reason being, she sponsored so many women that she was like, I don't have time for all of you, and you need to know how to do this work so that you can call each other when I'm not available and get some help.
Hmm. Yeah.
And since then, many of us have gone on to lead our own workshops around other
Hmm.
dining room tables. And so her wave and little pebble in the water has definitely rippled across probably thousands of women at this
Yeah.
point over all these years.
Hmm.
And so that idea of mutual sponsorship wasn't a new thing for me. And so one day I sat in her chair, and would be like, it would be our normal thing would be like, you want to go first? You want me to go first? And we just like go with each other. And I was like, maybe we should just sponsor each other, because she was looking for a sponsor. And I was like, girl, there are some slim pickings out there. Like, I don't know who to go to
Yeah.
and who I, feel comfortable talking to. And she's like, you're right. I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, let's sponsor each other. And that's what we've been doing for these last few years. And it's really great because,
Yeah.
I can call her as a friend, or I can call her and say, hey, this is a sponsorship call. And then she knows to put that hat on
Hmm.
for me. Like, I'm not just
Cool.
bullshitting around. I need to talk about something really hard, and I need you to listen with that hat on
Yeah.
and give me some direction.
Yeah.
And she does the same thing with me. And so it's
Hmm.
nice because we know when we're stepping into that space for each other, and we know
Yeah.
how to frame it for each other's to get what we need out of it.
Hmm.
And then she'll say, do you want me to just listen or do you want some feedback? And I'm like, we'll see. Right now, I just want you to listen. Okay. And then it's like, okay, I want some feedback. What do you think I
Hmm.
need to do? And sometimes
Yeah.
we don't have the answer for each other, but just in the sheer act of sharing that with each other, it's so
Yeah.
helpful. And I also have a therapist that I've been seeing. Thank you, because you kept pushing me. You're like, Mom, you need therapy. Mom, go to therapy. Mom, therapy. Mom. You're like, knock,
Water,
knock,
rock.
knock. Therapy, go. And so finally, and then I finally found a therapist, right? And I
Hmm.
called her and she was like, it was before the pandemic. It was
Hmm.
before the pandemic. And she's like, I don't have time. I'm fully booked. And she's like, maybe you can call me in 3 months. And I freaking put it in my calendar, like call her back in 3 months.
Yeah.
And I did call her back in 3 months. I'm like, hey, tell me to call in 3 months. Do you have any time yet? And she said, I don't have a regular time, but we can hop around in cancellations if you want to do that. And I was like, sure, let's do that
Hmm.
until we had a regular time. And now we have a regular time. And I talk to her every other week, and
Hmm.
that's our time. And it's so helpful. Even on days where I think I have nothing to talk about, there is something to talk about.
Hmm.
And she's helped me get clarity on behaviors and ideas that I have in my head around how I am with people that the regular 12 steps hasn't gelled for me. And that's been
Yeah.
really insightful and helpful
Yeah.
as I navigate life.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a different set of tools, right?
Yeah.
It's like a wrench versus a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need a hammer to drive the nail in, and sometimes you need to turn a bolt. And so, you know,
Hmm.
and not everything is one size fits all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to throw out all the tool names I know now. Like sometimes you need a Phillips head, sometimes you need a flathead,
Sometimes you need
sometimes
an
you need a
Allen wrench.
drill. Yeah. Sometimes you need some of that fucking, you need those command strips
Sometimes,
because
yeah.
the tools are just too much. You're like, this just needs to go on the
Sometimes you
wall.
just need duct tape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
Twist tie.
twist I one time, oh my God, I was having our hood. We were doing work in our kitchen and they were
Oh.
installing the hood.
Hmm.
And the guy is, underneath the hood and he's putting duct tape on. And I was like, why are you using duct tape? He's like, this is a duct. And I was like, oh, the original use for duct tape? What?
That's hilarious. Wow. There you go. Funny. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Cute.
Anyways, so
Anyways, were
go
you going to
ahead.
talk about this weekend's Universal Mother? That's
Yes.
what I was going to bring up just now. Oh, okay. Tell them what happened.
So, okay. Y'all know if you've been listening that we are big fans. And if you're just looking at Jackie right now, you can tell we are big fans of Angel City.
Yeah.
So last Sunday was opening game, and there's a game today online. So away game today, but there was a home game, opening game, and Jackie was in San Diego, which is about 3 hour drive from where
Hmm.
we are. For the weekend, she was at a bachelorette party. So I text her on Saturday, hey, transfer up your tickets so your sister can use them. And she's like, wait, what? It's the opening game? And I was like, girl, yes, please send the tickets. She's like, if I'd have known, I would have taken a red eye and gone home. I would have come up and gone to the game. And I was like, well, it's Saturday. You still can if you can figure it out.
Yes.
And she figured it out.
We
And
figured it out.
Livy and
Rube
I made
Goldberg
a,
device.
yes, Livy and I made a Jackie sandwich and hugged her real
Yeah.
tight. And we got to go to the game and they won 4-0.
They crushed it.
Woo, with a listener in
Historic
the fucking
game.
goal on the opposite
Yeah.
team. of the team that knocked us out of the playoffs last year. It was
Yeah.
a solid gold victory. And Savvy King came back on the field. I started crying. But
Yeah.
also, this is the beautiful thing. Like, it's not just a game, but now it's like a community. So all of the people around us, we've all been sitting in these season ticket holder section for 5 years now, pretty much.
That's crazy.
And this is our fifth year together.
Yeah.
And so we have this couple that sits behind us, and then there's another couple that sits behind us with their three kids, and then there's these two guys that sit to the right of us, and we are all just cheering each other on and seeing each other in and out of these games. And there's one uh, guy who is like the hugger of all huggers. He's just talking to everybody, hugging everybody, greeting everybody. That's just his personality.
His big brother.
He's yeah, and Jackie and he are friends, and they went to a baseball game last year, and Michael texted him and invited him to his birthday party. Like he's just really nice guy. And as I was coming down, Jackie and Olivia went to the bathroom. I'm coming down to the seats, and he looks at me. He's like, "Oh, I'm so bummed. Jackie's not going to be here today for opening day. I texted her this morning, like, sorry, we're going to miss you." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a bummer." And then Jackie comes down our little aisle and sits next to him, and he looks over and then goes, and then burst into tears.
So cute. We had been texting and he was like, "Hey, it's opening day. Thinking of you. Would love to catch up soon." And at this point, I'm like at the airport, like changing my flight, like canceling San Diego, booking a rental car, like trying to make shenanigans happen. And I'm like, "Yeah, miss you too. Would love to catch up next week." Yeah, and so we booked it up in my little Nissan Sentra, made it to the game. I sit down and like nobody, I mean, sometimes there's people who sit in those seats, but not usually, right? So like usually they'll be sitting in the back eating or whatever on one of the bar seats. And so I sit down right next to him and he's got his beer in the cup and he kind of like moves, like shifts it over and I was kind of like, once like somebody's sitting, okay, I'm gonna move my stuff. And then did the double take. And it was so good because he's also like big shenanigans energy. And he
Yes.
was like, normally I'm the prankster. You got me good.
And he comes over to me and he's like a tears dripping down his face. He's like, "I can't believe you got me and you didn't say anything." And then the other couple, the two moms and their three kids, and as soon as the girl saw Jackie, she was just like, "Oh." But that whole shift in your travel plan also wreaked havoc on the back end. So this is where the Universal
Yes.
Mother comes in. And you can talk
Yes.
about maybe Universal Mother for people who have no idea what you're talking about. And then
Sure.
yeah.
So basically, like a higher power is another word for God or whatever kind of spiritual or religious entity you believe is supporting you and creating life force and moving the world along. And you can kind of make it up. And so that's how I have like landed on this concept of Universal Mother because it just feels cozy and warm. And I'm like, Universal Mother's taking care of me. Things work out for me. I can either feel guilty and weird about it and like uncomfortable and ashamed, or I can just be like, things work out for me. So I had one of these moments where I was like, I'm just gonna have to grit it out and it is what it is. And I made a choice. And now it's not even like a repercussion. It's just like, this is how things are gonna shake out. So the flights got all delayed. There was a big storm moving through the country on Sunday. And I was going to miss my connection. I was supposed to originally go LA to Vegas, Vegas to Atlanta, Atlanta to St. Louis, right? Fucking planes, trains, and automobiles. I'm going to miss my connection in Vegas to Atlanta. Like, flight will be gone by the time we land. And the person at an airline that I will not name, but is not my favorite and might have directions in its name, was like, "Sorry, the only way that I can get you to St. Louis tomorrow is I can get you directly from Vegas to St. Louis, but you'll land at 11:30." And I was like, "No, I need to be there by 7:30 so I can get to my class at 9." Like that's why I booked this whole thing. And she was like, well, this is the only way. So do you want to get on this flight or not? And I was like, okay, fine. So she did that. Apparently, there was something wrong with my initial ticket to begin with. And I had been placed on like an earlier flight, but they never said anything about it. So she cancels my old ticket because it was all messed up. They rebook it. I end up in the back by the potties in that fucking window seat instead of my mid-plane aisle seat. But fine. Again, I'm not going to be a brat, but I am starting to freak out about this connection. So I'm still thinking I might try to push it, right? So I'm sitting there, like everybody's still loading on the plane. I'm looking up flights and I'm like, oh, I can go Vegas to Nashville, Nashville to St. Louis. It was going to be really tight. And then I saw that it was delayed 10 minutes. And I was like, 10 minutes. How big is Harry Reid Airport? Will we land at the same terminal? I don't know. We did not land at the same terminal. They were in Terminal B. We land. I look for the gate. I'm sprinting to Harry Reid. I get there. The gate is still open. And I'm like, hey, is there any chance I can get on this flight? And the lady there's like two of them at the desks. One of them steps over and she's like, I got this. And I'm like, okay. She just locks in, staring at her computer, tip tapping. I'm just sitting there trying to be very, very chill and polite with my energy, like keeping it real tight in, not letting my aura frazzle anybody. And I'm sitting there 3 minutes later, two tickets come out of the machine. She hands me back the thing and says, enjoy your flight. Boom. Nashville, St. Louis, locked in, got in at 7:30, made it to my 9 a.m. class. Shenanigans. And I cried the whole way. I felt not even like a brat. I was a little bit snippy with the flight attendant because when my ticket from LA to Vegas got changed, she like was doing her checks and she was like, "Hey, are you in the right seat? Because I don't see anybody who's supposed to be here." And I was like, "These are the tickets that they just printed out for me at the gate. I don't know what else to tell you."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Okay." And then she comes back in. She's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yes." I was like, "Originally my ticket was supposed to be 17D or whatever." And she's like, "Well, I don't see anybody there either." And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I'll go anywhere you want me to go, but like this is literally what she just handed me.
Yeah.
And then I felt bad, and then I was crying because I was stressed about missing my class and blah blah blah. So I have to miss another class later this semester. And at the end, I went up to her as we were leaving the plane and I was like, "Hey, I just wanted to say I'm sorry if I was rude earlier. Like I'm just really stressed because like if I don't make it back in time, like there's a chance I'm gonna get a really like I might fail this class if I have to miss two sessions, blah blah blah." And she was like, "Oh, she's like, it's okay. Like I kind of overheard when you were on the phone a little bit since when we were on the phone together."
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, I just wanted to apologize. And then I was like, would you like a, a tiny duck? Because Amazon targeted me and I have these little plastic animals now. I have like a collection of ducks and some like other figures. And I've just been giving them away to people randomly as like a way to spread whimsy and joy and like leaving them around campus. And so I offered her one and she was like, "Oh my God, yeah." I like took the one that she wanted. And then the other flight attendant was there and she took a duck and I just kept offering them and everybody says yes to these freaking ducks. I've only had one person who is like the most serious attorney at my internship who said no, thank you. So far, that's like, I think I'm at like 49 out of 50 yeses.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah.
Okay, my next question is how many freaking ducks did you buy on
I
Amazon? Like
don't know. It was like a
what?
pack of 100 for like $11 or something. And I already needed to buy something for a class. And I was like, oh, I might as well just add it on.
Oh my God.
People
Hilarious.
love them.
Yes.
Yeah. I even offered one to the security person at my building, Eugene.
Hmm.
And I was like, I have a silly offering, but would you like a tiny critter? And he goes, oh, well, I just can't resist that blue bear. Just the blue bear. And I'm like, see, like everybody has their animal that they like and their color that they like, and they'll just get so happy. I offered one to my Costco checkout person last week, and she was like, oh my God, I have a Jeep, and I'll put it with my other Jeep ducks, which is apparently a thing. Shout out to the Jeep duck community.
Okay. There you go.
There you go.
Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah. Whimsy.
There's a lot
Being a
of,
villager.
yes, a lot of ways to spread joy in this world.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the microplastics are very effective. That's what I
Yes.
keep calling them.
The microplastics. Yeah, I don't know if that's a big sell. That's a hard sell, but okay. All right.
No, I say, can I offer you a silly critter?
That's
Usually they
easy.
say yes. But
Yes.
my friends who know, I'm like, oh, I should have offered them a microplastic.
Yeah. Would you like a microplastic silly critter? Yeah.
Hmm. Anyway,
Oh,
Universal
so
Mother.
Universal Mother. It was so nice to see you in person. I miss you. I
Yeah,
don't realize how much I miss you
I
in
know.
person until I have you
Same.
in person. And then all I do is like just keep grabbing her and hugging her and
Which
yeah.
is normally I'm the grabby huggy, so
Yeah.
it's very good for me.
Yeah, Livy and I just sandwiched her and we're like, we're just
Yeah,
gonna squish you
I
and give you all
know.
the hugs.
Got squoshed.
And it was also nice to spend the weekend with her. She came out on Friday and spent
Yeah,
the last few days of her spring break with us, and it was really nice. So like
and my
it was just
nephew, Poopington.
yes, it was a nice weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not restful
No.
considering the kind of week that I had, which was like
Go, 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 go.
a
More
lot.
go, go, go.
Yeah.
And then followed by a week of go, go, go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
But overall net positive.
overall net positive.
Yeah.
Overall, always positive, actually,
Yeah.
like life is pretty, I mean, there's a lot going on. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
immune to all that is going on in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm also staying with the idea that my mental health and keeping myself in a positive space, even with all of that's going on, is a form of resistance to all
Yeah.
that's going on. And so,
Absolutely.
because I make better decisions, I have more critical thinking
Mm-hmm.
available. It's just a better way for me to live.
Yeah.
And also, just being present in the moment is so nice. It's just like it's
Mm-hmm.
just an easy place to live all the
Yeah.
time because usually like 99.95% of the time I'm safe
Mm-hmm.
in the present. Like right
Mm-hmm.
here, right now, talking to you, I'm in the studio, lights are on. Yeah, my camera overheated, whatever. That's the worst of it.
Mm.
Like, it's okay. We're all good.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Yeah.
so this afternoon, I'm gonna have I'm gonna go make some keys and put them on the
Mm-hmm.
door of my mom's house, which is getting sold. And,
Mm-hmm.
there's feelings around that, like the house it was a great house for the family to be and gather at.
Yeah.
So lots of changes going on in the world, in our world, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just rolling with it. And it's a lot, but it's also not, it's a lot when I think of it as a whole.
Yeah.
It's not a lot as I meet each moment in the moment. Like,
Mm.
okay, this afternoon I'll go get keys made and I'll buy a
Mm-hmm.
lockbox and put it on there for Marina. And, the stagers come tomorrow and, you know,
Yeah.
it's like all manageable. I'm going to take myself to lunch before I do that so I don't have to do all the errands hangry, which I've also
Nice.
learned, right? Like, okay, don't go doing
Everybody
all the
clap for
things, right?
mommy.
Don't go doing all
Yes.
the things before you like have had anything to eat because you're just going to be in bitchy bitch out
Mm-hmm.
there in the world. So like maybe just have a little snack before you go out or maybe go take yourself to lunch or whatever, however I feel is the
Yeah.
right solution is um better for me and everybody that I encounter.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love you.
I love you. We
And
love you too, listener people.
yes, and also I'm going to order a new one of these and maybe it won't come all busted up next time and it's going to be
Oh,
green and it's going to say 12 steps for everyone
okay.
and we're going to be hopefully redone, redoing.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to change some things. Actually, stay on this call before you leave. We're going to stop
Oh,
recording, but
girl.
please. Yeah, we got some business to take care of.
Womp.
Yeah, exactly. So this is it. This is it. This is the place where it goes wah
This is the protocoling.
wah. It's not that bad, but we're yeah, it's all good.
I'm trusting our shared brain cell has been replenished and that we'll
Yes,
get it done
we'll
quickly.
get it done quickly. It's all
Okay.
good because we're amateur professionals now.
Are amateurs, babe. I don't know about that.
Mm. All
Good
right.
grief.
If you're not driving, close your eyes. Think about what you are grateful for and take a deep breath in and exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Universal Mother.
Universal Mother. We want to hear from you.
Find us on Instagram and TikTok at 12 Steps for Everyone. That's at the number 12 Steps for Everyone.
Please like and follow us. You can also send us topics you want us to dig into or follow-up questions from each episode.
And if you know someone who would enjoy or benefit from our conversations, please feel free to share this with them. All are welcome here.